Now loading podcast, period.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Podcast Period, the internet's stupidest podcast. My name is Ben, and with me today, as always, is my co-host David.
What's up, guys?
Today is actually our 2-year anniversary, but because we're both very busy individuals and we're also somewhat lazy, we don't have anything special planned.
I forgot, to be completely honest. Totally forgot.
I was trying to think of something, but I don't know. These anniversary things are just too hard. I shouldn't have started this podcast. I shouldn't have gotten married. I'm not good at anniversaries.
Oh, shush. Don't even go there.
Anyway, we aren't going to be talking about any news this time, because we wanted to talk about all of the WandaVision episodes that we missed. David has not yet watched the one that dropped today, because he was working, didn't have time, whatever.
Yep. A little too busy today.
But we are going to walk through episodes 3, 4, and 5, which are still pretty big in their own right. We'll have to talk about episode 6 next episode, but either way, 3, 4, and 5 is where we're at. Do you want to... I guess we'll go episode by episode, and then we can kind of talk about how they relate to each other, maybe.
Yeah. Is there a synopsis for them, real quick?
There might be. I think, you know what? I'll pull up the Wikipedia page.
That'll work. Just to keep them somewhat coherently straight, because right now they're all kind of mingled in my head, and I don't want to.
Alright, so we are in 3, 4, and 5. Alright, so episode 3, this is a very short but also somewhat spoily synopsis. So if you haven't seen WandaVision, we're also going to spoil like everything. So if you haven't seen these episodes, go watch them and then you can come back and listen to this.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, we're gonna talk about everything. Anyway, so episode 3 was titled Now in Color. In a 1970s setting, Dr. Nielsen checks on Wanda's pregnancy and says she is 4 months along and everything is fine before leaving for an intended holiday with his wife. While Vision sees Nielsen out, he sees neighbor Herb unknowingly cut through their wall. Wanda and Vision paint a nursery while debating what to name their child before Wanda's pregnancy elevates to 6 months. When she begins her contractions, her abilities begin to move things in the house and eventually shut down the entire town's power. Geraldine arrives and helps Wanda deliver twins Tommy and Billy. Vision catches Agnes and Herb gossiping outside. They talk about Geraldine, who just arrived in town and does not have a home or family. Inside, Wanda interrogates Geraldine after the latter reveals that she knows Ultron killed Wanda's twin brother, Pietro. Wanda notices that Geraldine is wearing a pendant with a sword emblem on it. When Vision returns, Geraldine is gone. Outside of Westview, Geraldine is cast out from a wall of static and is surrounded by sword agents. A little Easter egg that this episode features is a commercial during the WandaVision program that advertises Hydra Soak bath powder. Hydra spelled Hydra, which is a reference to the organization in the MCU. So, anyway, that's the basic gist of this episode. I think the biggest thing to talk about would be how the tension of the previous 2 episodes kind of finally boils over with Geraldine. Like, Wanda didn't have tension with Geraldine, but just like the general vibe of everything, how with the helicopter that she found and the dude in the beekeeper suit. I think Geraldine was just the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak. So when she talks about Ultron killing Pietro, Wanda finally kind of snapped, and she realizes that she's controlling everything. I think she had some semblance of knowledge in the last 2 episodes, especially at the end of the last one when she says no.
Yeah.
When she sees the beekeeper dude, and they just like zoom or rewind back into their house or whatever. But this one, she definitely takes full advantage of her control over her situation, and she literally casts Geraldine out of Westview.
I really enjoyed the episode for the simple fact that we finally got a context of what was going on. We don't know everything at this point, but it was a huge awakening, and it finally... I liked the first 2 episodes, so the way the show was going and the pacing didn't bother me at all, but there was some that complained about it. It finally gave them something to shut up about. We have an idea of what's happening. We have an idea of who's at play. Don't know everything, but hey, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It took away my grief, the one grievance I had with the first 2 episodes, just the aspect ratio that they used. I wasn't a big fan of the 4:3 aspect ratio, but it was a nitpick beyond nitpicks. Like, it was just nitpicking the nitpicking, because there wasn't anything else I could find wrong about the show. I loved it. So I like that we got a sense of what was going on. And it just also... Was it this one, or is it the next one that gives us, like, a timeline?
It's the next one.
It's the next one that gives us a timeline, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? I think that's where the biggest thing starts, is the next episode.
Yeah, this one is definitely a precursor to finally explaining everything. They kind of alluded to it at the end with, Geraldine being cast out into the world and
saying
us
Wanda,
kind
it's
of
all
seeing,
Wanda.
Yeah, us kind of seeing what was going on, but episode 4 is definitely where we finally get some much needed explanation. I think they paced this program really well so far. In the fact that, they give you little bits and pieces with the first 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 4th one, they finally just like, I don't know. They don't break the 4th wall per se, but they break the show's 4th wall. In that they explain what's happening behind the scenes of this fictional sitcom. So,
yep.
Yeah, I think we can move on to the 4th episode, because that's really where things start to pick up. So episode 4, we interrupt this program. Captain Monica Rambeau, an agent of SWORD, returns to life following the blip to find her mother Maria has died of cancer. The blip, for those of you who don't know, which if you're watching the show you probably do, but I'm going to explain it anyway. It's the MCU's term for what happened when Thanos snapped half of everything away, or half of everybody away, I guess you could say. And then everybody came back. Anyway, 3 weeks later, Monica returns to work and is sent by acting director Tyler Hayward to help FBI agent Jimmy Woo with a missing persons case in Westview, New Jersey. They discover a hexagonal static CMBR field surrounding the town, which Monica is pulled into. Within 24 hours, SWORD establishes a base around town and sends drones and an agent inside to investigate. Dr. Darcy Lewis studies the phenomena and discovers broadcast signals for the sitcom WandaVision. They use these to observe events inside the town, learning that real residents have been cast in the sitcom and seeing Monica appear as Geraldine. Darcy and Jimmy unsuccessfully attempt to use the radio to contact Wanda. When Monica mentions Ultron, Wanda casts her out of the town. The sitcom illusion disappears, and Wanda sees Vision appear as he did when he died. Horrified, she restores the illusion. So, like we said, this is the big episode for the season. This is the one where they finally break free of the sitcom format that they've established up until that point, and finally give us some much needed explanation as to exactly what's going on.
Yes, we get location. We know where we're at. We get timeline finally. It's literally within weeks of Endgame and everybody being brought back. So it's within weeks of that.
Not even a month after that.
I think it was like 2-3 weeks later. It's very close to that. We understand where Vision came from. We find out that that Wanda raided Sword's headquarters and took his body. We get the idea of her being in control of things. To what extent she's in control, it's unknown yet. And we don't really know. I have suspicions, and I don't know if they've been answered in 6 or not. If there's like an outlying force, an outside force that's somehow involved with it, or if it's just completely her own way of coping with what happened. Because
they don't. I will say that they don't answer if there's anybody else involved in the episode, but we do get some idea as to the extent of her powers, as it were.
Okay. So they explain a little bit more as far as that goes. Okay, cool. So, but yes, much needed context. Some of the townspeople, they're explained. We know who they are. It's a whole town that's missing, and things like that. I don't know. It's a wealth of information thrown at us in a very short amount of time. Also, didn't include any sitcom in this episode. It was all backstory, catching us up to the moment that Monica was exiled, thrown off the show. So it was nice. Loved it. Explanations were high, so it was good for those that were nitpicking.
Yeah, I'm very glad. I was getting kind of, I don't know, I don't want to say annoyed with the sitcom format, but I was getting to the point where I needed some explanation, or it was going to start feeling like the same thing over and over and over again. I like the mystery. Don't get me wrong, but like I said, I think the 4th episode happened right when it should have. Because they're really starting to pile on the mystique and everything, and then as soon as Geraldine is cast out, you're like, okay,
what
if I
just
don't
happened?
get some explanation after this might be the falling off point for me, you know? And they very much delivered on that. I'm very glad that they finally explained everything that's going on, and I like the explanation for the whole sitcom format too, that being the CMBR field and the broadcast signals and everything. So,
and most critically, just the censoring of events that is happening. It completely establishes that Wanda is in control of WandaVision. We do not see anything that we're not supposed to see. It's framed, and things are cut out the way they're supposed to be. There'll be glitches, there'll be rewinds, whatever. She's only allowing what she wants to be aired out. So it definitely establishes her dominance in that as well.
Yeah. I don't know. I really wish that they had. I don't know. I like the 4th episode. I do. I really enjoyed the fact that they explained everything that was going on up until that point, and that they explained the radio and everything too. They explained everything that was going on in the past few episodes, so they didn't leave any stone unturned.
Nope.
I was very happy about that.
Exactly. Answered a lot of questions there.
Yeah. Should we move on to the 5th episode?
Yep.
Okay. So the fifth episode, and the last one that we're going to talk about on this episode, is episode 5, on a very special episode. In a 1980s/1990s setting, Wanda and Vision struggle to stop Tommy and Billy from crying. Agnes offers to help look after the boys, but Vision questions her behavior. He and Wanda are interrupted when Tommy and Billy suddenly age up to 5 years old. When a dog appears in their house, the boys ask to keep it, and Agnes suggests the name Sparky. Wanda almost reveals her abilities to Agnes concerning Vision, while the boys age up again to 10 years old. At work, Vision reads an email from Sword that reveals the situation in Westview. He breaks through to a real Westview resident and discovers that Wanda is seemingly controlling the town. Sword sends in a drone from the 1980s into Westview and attempts to kill Wanda on Hayward's orders. Wanda emerges from the static field with the drone and warns Hayward to leave her alone. Scared by the drone, Sparky runs away and later dies. Vision confronts Wanda about her actions, but they are interrupted when Pietro arrives. Watching the broadcast, Darcy notes that Pietro has been recast. And during this episode, there's a commercial during the program that advertises Lagos paper towels, which is a reference to the instigating incident in Civil War, Captain America Civil War. Okay, so I really wish we could talk about the 6th episode in this one because, gosh, there's some good stuff in there. But I am glad that we do get to talk about Pietro showing up in this because there are tons of questions that the 6th episode raises that I'm still probably going to ask of this episode. And I just want to see what your take is on it. Okay. So obviously we both know that this Pietro is not the Pietro that we got in the MCU. He's definitely dead. Obviously.
Yep.
So the Pietro that we have is I don't know if he was called Pietro in the X-Men movies or not. But either way, it's Quicksilver. from the X-Men movies.
Mm-hmm.
Who shows up as Pietro in WandaVision. So, questions that the 6th episode kind of raises is that, so we have Pietro, right? Why isn't he the same actor? Is it because Pietro is dead? Like that Pietro is dead? And she can't raise people from the dead necessarily? Like, okay, Vision is not, like, technically a living thing. He's still a robot. He's got, like, the soul stone in him and everything. But he's still very much an autonomous being.
Mind Stone.
So it's conceivable, it's conceivable to think that having pulled his body in, that she could resurrect him. So what do you think about the fact that this Pietro is not the Pietro that we know? Like, where do you think he came from necessarily? Because it hasn't really been established whether the X-Men movies and the MCU movies are in the same universe per se.
I was taking it as Marvel's way, and it may not have intentionally been the way that they were going to introduce it, but it just so happens that WandaVision just happens to be the first thing that we get out of Phase 4 because of the pandemic and the fact that we did not get any MCU movies at all last year, which is unheard of because we were kicking out 2, almost 3 for like 4 years straight. So it could have been just their way of necessary, and I don't, like I said, I don't know if it was necessary to involve it in this because there's not a lot else that could be done just because this is the first thing that's come out, or if they were hoping that something else would already have established this and this would just be a callback to it, but just like a multiverse. This is their way of introducing a multiverse. something that they were supposedly going to do with Spider-Man, or something that they're maybe bringing in with Doctor Strange too.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that, where they are establishing that there is an expanded universe outside of the MCU, and there are alternate realities, and this could be the Pietro from a different universe that is supposed to be exactly the X-Men Pietro that we're thinking, or a Quicksilver in this case, because we don't exactly know if that's what they called him or not. Or is this her actual brother, just this is a different form, just like Miles Morales is a different form of Spider-Man in a different universe. So I thought it was just their way of introducing it. I don't know the answer to that question. Is it because it is X-Men tie-ins, or is this just establishing that there are other universes and this just happens to be the form that her brother would have taken in said universe, and maybe Ultron didn't happen in said universe, therefore he's not dead for whatever reason. Hard to say.
I don't know. I think you're right about the multiverse thing. I think that's how they're going to merge the existing universes for now. I don't know if they're going to try and maybe introduce mutants into the world of the MCU, but at least for now, I think this is going to be the way that they merge everything together, because they're going to. There's not going to be any ifs, ands, or buts about it. Like, honestly. Disney has the property now.
They have it.
They're not going to let it languish.
I wonder if, and this is a theory that might not hold anything true at the end. Maybe there's a way they call it back to the blip. Banner did mention that there were massive amounts of gamma radiation, predominantly gamma radiation, but other forms of radiation that were sourced from Earth when Thanos did his snap. Then we have the snap that Banner did, which brought everybody back. And then we have the snap that Tony Stark did, which ultimately it killed him, that made Thanos and his army disappear. Mm-hmm. So we have 3 snaps, 3 massive sources of radiation directly tied to Earth. I wonder if that's a way that they can bring in mutants. These sources of radiation have caused the mutations needed to introduce the mutants. That could be a way that they do it. That'd be a good way to tie it in now that they have everything, because people would be like, well, why didn't they do it early? Well, they didn't have the rights. Well, how do you explain it? Maybe you explain it with the snaps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah. We'll see. That's one way you could do it, though.
They could do it that way. They could just say that, mutants are a thing now, though.
Yeah, they very well could.
Let's be honest. In the X-Men movies, they were always trying to keep their existence under wraps. So it's conceivable that, they were successful for a time, and then finally something happened. Mutants are a thing.
Yep.
And I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be all that weird in a world with a dude that turns into a giant green monster, and another dude that went from somebody that looks like me to a rippled hunk of a man, and everybody else on the Avengers, a kid that got bit by a spider, and now he shoots, well, I guess shooting webs isn't part of his powers anymore, but he can stick on walls and stuff, and he's super strong, all that junk.
Yeah.
It's not all that conceivable that, or inconceivable, I should say, that mutants could be a part of that universe already.
Absolutely
having existed.
Not. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary. Let's just say that for sure. Precedent has been set.
I think you're right about the multiverse thing, though. I think that's how they're going to introduce it for now. And maybe it could be a combination of the two where, we get these existing mutant characters that Fox has already iterated on. Mm-hmm. And then maybe the new mutants that aren't as heavily featured or aren't featured at all in the older X-Men movies. Maybe that's where the gamma radiation comes in and explains their existence. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see how Disney decides to explain everything, I guess.
I have confidence in Feige though, so
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily worried about it. And rightfully so, a lot of people say that Disney ruins a lot of things that they touch. Feige's kept the MCU in a good place. And as long as he's at the helm, I have confidence in the things that he does.
We can only hope that whenever he decides to step down, that they replace him with somebody equally as passionate and equally as competent at keeping everything together, keeping everything making sense.
Very coherent.
So, yeah. I can honestly say that there's not really been a time when I've gone back and rewatched things that I haven't been, or that I've been confused going back and rewatching something. Like, where did this one plot thread go? It's never explained again, you know? It's either wrapped up in that movie or it's wrapped up in one of the next couple movies, you know?
Yeah, I just love it because you can constantly go back to any of the movies and probably to the shows now. I mean, they're already doing a good job with that too. I mean, you had the Hydra reference, you had the Stark reference with the toaster, you had the Lagos reference, which was there's something that we need to talk about because it's it's something that I have a theory on too, with Wanda. But they're doing a good job with that. But you can just tie everything back into the movies too. I just watched, and I thought I had done it, but I clearly didn't because I didn't recognize the movie at all. The Winter Soldier. I actually watched it, went back, and it's like, oh, okay, that's that reference. That's that reference. The on the left or on your left reference. It's like, oh, yep, that makes total sense. And then just how many places they put it. It's amazing, and I love it. They do such a good job.
Where did I start you with the MCU? Was it Ant-Man?
The first thing that we went to see was Civil War.
Was it? Was it Civil War?
First thing that we saw together was Civil War. So I watched the entirety of Phase 3 with you, except for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, because I hadn't seen the first one. Before I'd watched any of Thor's movies, Captain America's movies, didn't really watch all of Iron Man, didn't watch Guardians 1, and hadn't seen any of the Avengers movies. And then I get thrown into Civil War, which is like, oh.
It was probably a little bit of a culture shock, honestly.
I know I bothered you with all the... Well, I didn't bother you, but I know I kept pestering you with all the questions. Like, who's this? Who's this? I don't know. I don't know. Now I know everything. And it's like, yes, finally. Well, I don't know everything, but I have a much better understanding.
Yeah.
And it was nice to be able to go back and watch. Because after I did Winter Soldier, I did it for this reason. I wanted to be refreshed as much as I could on Wanda and Pietro. So I went back and watched Age of Ultron. And then I watched Civil War again, because I didn't quite understand it the first time. And then Infinity War, and then Endgame. So I've watched all those within like the last week and a half in preparation for this, because there's a lot of things that get tied into it. Lagos. I'd totally forgotten that was the opening scene of Civil War. And I was like, okay, I know it's a bounty commercial reference, but what is the significance of Lagos? I don't want to look this up. I don't want this spoiled for me. But I could not figure it out. So I finally looked it up, and they said it was that city that she tried to contain the bomb that Captain missed and didn't do so well. which then ended up leading to the whole Accord situation, which tore apart everybody, and that's why we had Civil War fallout.
Mm-hmm.
So, the significance that I was thinking, we had the flashback where Vision is dead, and the Mind Stone's been yanked out of him.
Yep.
She quickly recovers and reinstitutes her reality of WandaVision. We get the Lagos commercial, obviously calling back to some more of the trauma that she's had. Then we get the twins asking about siblings. She opens up about Pietro after Monica Rambeau has been ejected from the show for mentioning that exact same person. And then we get Pietro recast. So, how much of this is her own doing, and how much of this is just ungodly amounts of grief that she just cannot control? Like, that has got to be weighing down on her hard. All the stuff that she had to go through, and the fact that she's had no time to process it because she was blipped away for the entire 5 years. She literally comes back, and the first thing she does is, quite literally, until Thanos bombards her, about whipped his you-know-what.
Mm-hmm.
Like, single-handedly, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if
she
he
was
hadn't
done.
If he hadn't have rained fire on his own troops, he would have died. She would have ripped him, like, probably in, like, 16 different pieces.
She was mad.
Mm-hmm.
And I had forgotten how ticked off she was. No, you can't blame her at all. Totally forgotten how ticked off she was.
She saw the love of her... She saw him take the love of her life, not only reawaken him from her having to kill him...
After she had to do it. Mm-hmm.
But then just casually reaching into his head and grabbing out his life source.
Yep. Gone.
Mm-hmm. Right in front of her eyes. And then he snaps and everything's gone. She's gone.
Had nothing to do. Couldn't do anything. Literally been gone. So the fact that it's merely 2 weeks later, I think it has to be a huge callback to that. This has definitely got to be like an uncontrolled coping mechanism of her grief. Understandable grief, too.
Yeah. I can't help but think if potentially there isn't also a third party behind this too, though.
I feel like there has to be. I feel like the motivation, the reasoning is all set there, and her reality is fixing or coping with her grievances or her grief. I don't know that she'd consciously do this. Or at least, I don't know if she would have in the beginning. Yeah. It's hard to say, because that whole missile strike, where she comes out and just lays into them, and says, I have what I want, now leave me alone. Damned be all if I have half a whole town held hostage against their will. Some of that has to be her control, right?
Yeah. She's definitely in control of the townspeople and the town and the simulation that she's kind of running everything through, but I can't help but think that maybe somebody is in control of her, at least partially. Maybe not like mind control per se, but definitely maybe some sort of persuasion, I guess.
Something.
I don't know.
Something has to be there. At least I hope.
Yeah.
Because I really liked Wanda in the movies. And I liked Black Widow. And we lost Black Widow, so the only thing we got left now is Wanda. So we need something. Something to save her in the end. Otherwise, Sword's going to have, God knows what fun with her.
Yeah, well, we'll just have to wait for the season finale and see. Hopefully, well, I guess it's probably going to be the series finale. They can't really fall back on this sitcom trope anymore after this, I guess.
No.
Unless they're not going to resolve everything in the final episode.
I don't know. Have they said anything? I haven't heard anything about...
I haven't heard anything about a second season or anything like that. So
Gotcha.
It's entirely possible that this is just a one and done thing. It wouldn't surprise me, you know?
It wouldn't surprise me either, to be honest. We have no precedent for how MCU shows are going to be handled. This is the first one, so is it going to set a pattern? Is this how it's going to be? Or do different circumstances call for different setups?
I feel like this one definitely should probably be a one and done. We'll have to see how Falcon and the Winter Soldier goes. We are going to watch the trailer for that in this episode because that dropped during the Super Bowl. So we'll have to see what we think about that. What kind of vibes we get based off of the trailer.
One thing I wanted to ask, do you think Hydra's at all involved with anything S.W.O.R.D.? Considering S.W.O.R.D. was supposed to be a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. And we know how infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. was.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's definitely entirely possible. They never really did away with Hydra in the movies, did they? They just kind of stopped mentioning it because of Thanos and everything.
What was the end of that?
Because S.H.I.E.L.D. got dismantled after Winter Soldier, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, after the helicarrier incident.
Yeah.
That was the end of that. Black Widow. Leaked. There we go. Black Widow leaked all the files, all the S.H.I.E.L.D. files.
Yep.
So, yeah, there wasn't any point in continuing on with that. I don't know. It's one of those things where I feel like if there's anything that was left of S.H.I.E.L.D., if S.W.O.R.D. was a part of that, how is Hydra not somehow in that too? I mean, it went all the way up to the top of the chain before it got caught. I mean, Fury barely caught it himself. I mean, maybe if they hadn't locked out his access to that drive that she got Black Widow got off of the one spy ship or whatever it was called that I can't remember, that was hijacked by the pirates, he may not even caught on. But the fact that they blocked it out by authority of Nicholas J. Fury kind of set off his little alarm bell there. So
can't imagine why.
I can't. Yeah, it's like, well, something's up. You might not want to launch those helicarriers. I think something might be up. He was right, obviously, as Fury always is.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. It was just something I wanted to see if you had any thoughts on.
I don't know.
All right.
It's
anything else?
Possible. I don't think so. I think we'll just have to save further discussion for when the next few episodes drop.
Alrighty then.
All right. Well, let's get into the trailers portion of this episode. I'm going to switch up the order that I put them in here. I want to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier first, and then we'll go through the rest of them. Okay. So, first trailer of the episode, Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
So, who would like to start? Mr. Barnes, why does Sam aggravate you?
15 seconds to drop. So what's our plan?
Great. Superheroes cannot be allowed to exist. I have no intention to leave my work unfinished.
plan. Oh, yeah? What is it?
Is you ready?
Here we go again, huh?
We've been grinding hard on the job. Can't take that from us.
That little girl kicked your ass. Aye.
Gotta get that first shot off before that bullet hit me.
See? That wasn't so hard.
Are you ready? Is you ready?
Okay.
You say you ready.
What are you doing?
Whole squad ready.
Are you having a staring contest?
Are you ready? Is you ready?
Just blink. Sweet Jesus. I mean, how old are you?
I am excited to see that. Okay, let's see. I'm going to do the math here. We've got 3 more episodes of WandaVision. So that's going to be 19th, 26th, and the 5th. The 5th is going to be the season finale. And this said what?
The 19th.
March 13th? Was it?
19th.
19th?
19th.
Yep, March 19th. So it's going to be a week in between them, but that's not bad. That's some pretty good timing, I'd say.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
give people a chance to catch up. Gives people a little bit
of a chance to breathe after WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can get into Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm excited for this. I can't tell. I do know who the bad guy is going to be for the entire series because of that mask that the dude was holding. Baron Zemo, spoiler, the dude at the end of Falcon and the Winter not Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Captain
Soldier.
America, Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So he's back. I don't know who the dude with the A on the back of his suit was during that Super Bowl scene.
No, I don't
So
either.
I'm interested to figure that out. As far as I can tell, there isn't any like huge overarching plot. I mean, there's definitely going to be, but it doesn't look to me like they're boxing themselves in like WandaVision intentionally has. So this could expand out to be more than one season. I think I would like this to be more than one season.
Yeah, I could see this being something that they could do. Definitely more than one season. Depends on what the show is and and how it folds out. But I'm with you. It doesn't look like you could theoretically, unless it's not all explained, but I really don't see how you can stretch out WandaVision over another 8 or 9 episode season.
Yeah.
Given the fact we've progressed as far as we have already. You could do a few more sitcom only shows, but I don't see it being a thing.
Yeah,
this definitely
if they wanted
could,
to stretch WandaVision, they should have made the entire first season the sitcom stuff, and then and then the second season should have been how the latter half of this first season has been.
But I don't
would
think people would have
liked it that way? No. They made the right decision to do what they did. They have paced this first season, potentially only season, beautifully. So I'm with you. Yeah, I hope that this is more than one season. I could see it definitely going more than one season. So, I like the dynamic that they've kind of shown between Falcon and Winter Soldier. It's definitely
was that the same
like
actor
a brotherly
for Bucky?
Love-hate situation.
Yeah,
what?
Definitely. Was that the same actor for Bucky?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't quite tell, mostly because they didn't have the arm shown at all. At least not that I saw in the trailer. I didn't see anything about the arm. I think he had it covered up
for the most part.
Yeah.
He did have it when they were on the truck when he was holding on to that like railing thing.
Okay.
But in all the other scenes,
his
I'm pretty
hair,
sure they had it carried
though.
out. Yeah,
it's much shorter, cleaner.
Well, they had it that way, and no, they didn't have it that way in Endgame, did they?
No,
it was still long.
No, well, because he went into Infinity War straight out of Wakanda. They get to Wakanda, they give him the arm. Panther, T'Challa comments, I think he's ready to come out of retirement or something like that. And I think it's just because he's purposely had this exile to try to reverse some of the was that Hydra training? Was Hydra involved with that, or is this just some USSR Soviet crap?
I'm pretty sure that it was Hydra.
Okay, so the Hydra training that they did, the brainwashing and stuff. So he looks scruffy, and rightfully so after, an exile like that. And then we go straight into Endgame post blip. And obviously there's no time for a haircut there. Got to keep that continuity. And then we get into this, and it's definitely it's a nice dynamic for sure.
I like a cleaner look with the shorter hair.
Yeah, much cleaner look. I like it.
Yes,
they brought back Sharon Carter. She's back. Emily Van Camp.
Yeah, I wonder how she handled that with her being on The Resident as well.
I don't know. I didn't realize that she was in the MCU at all until I watched the movies the other day. I was like, oh, there's Emily. So
I'm sure she's making that paper though.
She's got to be after that. Oof.
That's another thing that I noticed in this trailer. The production value in this series seems to be extremely high, like movie level high. Like WandaVision is definitely has very high production values, but you don't get all the set pieces with WandaVision.
No, and
in the
purposely
trailer,
because it's a sitcom.
For this series, set piece after set piece after set piece, and they look just as good as the movies did.
MCU, yep. Yep. Totally agree.
No,
I'm excited.
We're definitely going to talk about it whenever those episodes drop. So be excited about that, y'all.
When's the last time we saw Zemo? Was it at the end of Civil War?
And it was at the end of Winter Soldier. Yeah.
I thought it was Civil War. Didn't he go after the other? Oh, am I?
No, that's right.
Do I have my
movies?
movies?
Was he in Civil War? No, he was in Winter Soldier because that's when he reprogrammed Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but then he was in Civil War. He's the one wasn't he the one that set off the bomb? Made it look like Bucky had done it. That's the whole reason why Cap split off, went for him. They go to Russia. They find the bunker.
Maybe
Iron Man and Captain America are duking it out. Zemo's in the blast chamber, mocking Iron Man after he strikes it, and he goes, "This was built to withstand the launch of some rocket, and you're going to shoot those piddly things at me." And reveals that Bucky is the one that killed Tony's parents. And then they start duking it out again because of that.
Are you sure you weren't talking about the dude in the computer? Because that's not Baron Zemo.
I don't know. I'm asking you. I don't remember.
I
Was
don't
it the
remember
dude in
Zemo
the computer?
I don't remember Zemo being in... He was not in Civil War.
Okay. Well, then who was that I'm talking about?
All right, hold on. We're going to have to do some research here.
I thought it was him.
I don't think so. You could be right, but I don't think so. Let's see. Okay, so he is in Civil War. What in the world happened in Winter Soldier then?
Winter Soldier is about Captain America finding, well, he knows who Bucky is. He recognizes Bucky. Bucky doesn't recognize Cap because of the brainwashing thing. Kind of does at the end.
Okay, so I've like combined Winter Soldier and Civil War in my brain somehow.
Okay.
Okay. Because Winter Soldier is when he's revealed to be Bucky.
Yes.
So, yeah, the last time we saw him was at the end of Civil War when he
Okay, I thought
almost
so.
kills himself, but Black Panther stops him.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay.
So that's the last time we saw him.
Yep, and now he's back.
Wow, that's a lot of movies ago.
Mm-hmm.
Don't wonder. It's so easy to get confused. It was
I
literally
know.
20-something movies.
20,
And that
what
was
is it,
like
26 now or something like
I
that?
don't know. It's too many.
Some ridiculous number.
Too many. Too many.
Oof.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is. It is very hard. Alright, so our next trailer is for Fast and Furious 9.
Oh boy.
The world has a way of changing, but there's one thing that always stays the same. You miss the old life
Do you?
every day. Crank it all the way up. Rated PG-13.
These movies get more and more ridiculous as time goes on.
Well,
But I
what
love
was
them.
that whole car is like literally on its side going through the building?
I feel like there was a magnet in the truck. Why
Was
there
that
needs
what
to
it
be
was?
a magnet in the truck? It's beyond me, but
It was terribly done though. Like you could see like how broken the CGI was in that. Like, ugh.
I don't know. It looked fine to me.
Did it? It looked terrible to me. It looked.
I didn't notice.
Maybe it
anything.
was YouTube. Could be YouTube.
It could be YouTube. Yeah,
Compressing the snot
It
out
could
of
definitely be YouTube. Oh
Um,
man,
I will watch it just because I've
Oh, yeah.
literally watched almost all of them.
I think the only one that both of us haven't seen. Did you see Hobbs and Shaw?
I think I did.
I don't think I've seen Hobbs and Shaw, but that's the only one that I haven't seen.
Just continuing the bad tradition.
That's right. I don't know. I don't know what it is about these movies. I shouldn't like them, but they're just too over the top not to like it, you know?
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
All right. So our next trailer is for Old.
Are we there yet?
This beach, it's beautiful.
My swimsuit is hurting.
They do look small.
Come on, let's play hide and seek.
Have you seen my children?
Mom, I'm right here.
He was 6 years old this morning.
Oh no.
Mom, I'm scared. There's something wrong with this beach.
We were chosen for a reason.
What's happening?
I don't know.
I can't think.
Old. Only in theaters this summer.
What is
I don't know.
so weird?
I saw one detail that definitely tainted my opinion of this. It was a bad trailer, regardless.
What? What's the detail?
But as soon as I saw who directed this,
What, M. Night Shyamalan?
I have not seen any other movies from him besides the one that need not be mentioned because it's a sin to mention it to me anymore. It's that bad. You know exactly what I'm talking about because you felt the same way.
What movie is that? Oh, yep. Okay, nope. Never mind. I know. I remember.
I was
which
going
one
to
you're
say,
talking about
I
now.
know you know what I'm talking about. Then,
Listen.
Sorry, not. Doing
I will give you that. That movie is terrible. However, he has made decent movies.
Yeah, but I haven't seen any of them.
Long before Avatar. And
you mentioned it.
The Unbreakable, Split, and Glass trilogy is actually pretty good. Glass is not necessarily the strongest entry in a trilogy that I've ever seen. But Unbreakable and Split are both very, very, very good. Glass is but as a trilogy, it's pretty good. I'll have to have you watch them. Either way, this looks like hot garbage.
Mm-hmm. It really does. so not seeing it.
Sorry,
Would not
Mr.
wait for a review.
Shimmalamalam. No.
Shyamalan.
I'm gonna straight up not see.
No.
See ya
Absolutely
later.
not.
Alright. Our next trailer is for Insight.
You need to listen to me, Captain, because I'm about to tell you something that cannot leave this office. Is that understood?
All right. But it better be damn good.
My brother and I were born with the ability to see things.
Like clairvoyance?
We have visions. He's extremely dangerous, Captain.
We need help.
What did you do to my brother? It's not a suicide. Bao was murdered.
You know, I was honestly kind of digging that trailer up until the very last line with the very lackluster delivery that it had. It was not a suicide. My brother was murdered. Could you sound any more like you were just reading that off the clipboard in front of you? Like, for real.
Nope. I don't think you could.
I
wait
I
for
don't
a
know.
review.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm teetering between waiting for review and just flat out not seeing it all after that last line delivery. Like, honestly.
That's why I'm
but
saying
I'll
wait
stick
for a
with
review.
I'll stick with wait for review. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Our last trailer for the episode is Cosmic Sin.
Good evening, General. Oh, wait. You're just a civilian now.
Mr. James Ford. General Ryle is requesting your inimitable counsel. No. He's offered to reinstate you. From the top. 4 hours ago, the crew of the Vander made first contact.
Stay there.
They believe we're hostile.
In the event of first contact, humanity must strike first to ensure the continued survival of our species.
Operation Cosmic Sin is now a go.
I'm not impressed.
Okay. Split it into two parts. Plot and idea versus trailer, acting, and just the movie in general. What about the plot?
The acting is fine.
Okay.
The plot, I don't know. I was on board when it was more like, when I thought it was going to be more like Alien, but these things are definitely, even though we know that the alien is sentient in the Aliens franchise, it still feels more like an animal. These things are, they look like humans with like a couple of scales down the ridge of their nose. It feels more like a genocide than it would a fight for humanity's survival in the case of the aliens. Because the aliens will definitely stop at nothing to kill us. Who's to say that the aliens in this movie didn't already try some form of peacemaking and some dickhead human was just like, nah, I ain't about that.
Okay. Point made. So wait for a review or just no?
Yeah, I'd probably wait for a review. I mean, listen, it's a Bruce Willis movie. I have to say that I'm kind of a sucker for a good Bruce Willis movie. So I'll wait for a review just on the fact that he's in this movie.
Okay. That's fair enough. I'd say the same thing. Wait for a review. It pulled me in enough that I'm kind of interested to see where it goes. I'm just not convinced that it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, I think that's where we're going to leave this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening, depending on, where you happen to be consuming our show at. Please be sure to leave a rating on whatever podcasting platform you happen to be listening on. Leave a like if you're on YouTube. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for listening to this episode of Podcast Period. This episode was hosted and produced by Ben, co-hosted and edited by David. You can contact Ben on Twitter at BenPlaysVidges. That's Ben Plays VIDYAS. And you can contact David on Twitter at Car6by16. If you'd like to chat with us about any of the topics on the show, you can hit up the show at Podcast Period on Twitter or shoot us an email at podcastperiodpodcast@gmail.com. We also have a new website that has launched featuring new articles written by us, as well as links to all the episodes. Please visit that at podcastperiod.com. Want to do more for the show but aren't sure how? We have a Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you can get early access to episodes and so much more, and support the show while doing it. Just go to patreon.com/podcastperiod. That's all for this week. We'll see you next time.
This was a Nerdgasm Podcast production.
Well, that was another in a long series of regrettable life choices.
Served at nerdgasmpodcast.com.